What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day so far. Today is Wednesday, October 5th, and that means that we have NFP reports. And NFP reports are important because it's important to know how a job or how a country's economy is doing when it comes to the job market. The more jobs, the lower unemployment, the better businesses, the stronger that currency theoretically should be. So today we had NFP reported. So we're going to take a look at these two articles thanks to FOREX Factory. FOREX Factory is an awesome website that gives you so much information on different currencies and their news, what's going on with them. So we're going to take a look at both of these articles very briefly, one from prnnewswire.com and the other from markdomarket.com. Both of the links to these articles will be in the description, but let's go ahead and jump right in. Marktomarket.com, we have this article here, dollar slump halted as stocks and bonds retreat. So I'm just going to go over this, look at this overview really quickly with y'all before moving on to the next article, and then we're going to take a look at the Edgefinder as well, see what the Edgefinder has to say about US dollar pairs. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with a stream highlight from today, Trader Nick talking about US dollar and NFP reports. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Hope that the global tightening cycle is entering its last phase supplies the fodder for a continued dramatic rally in equities and bonds. The euro traded at par for the first time in 2 weeks, while sterling reached almost 1.1490, its highest since September 15th. The US 10-year yield has fallen by 45 basis points in 5 sessions, yet the scar tissue from the last bear market rally is still fresh, and US equity futures are lower after the S&P 500 had its best 2 days since 2020. Moving on in the article, we see Fed Chair Powell has explained that for inflation, one number, the PCE deflator, best captures the price pressures. However, he says the labor market has many dimensions and no one number does it justice. Weekly initial jobless claims fell to 5-month lows in late September. On the other hand, the ISM Manufacturing Employment Index fell below the 50 boom/bust level for the 4th month in the past 5. The JOLTS reports showed the labor market easing, with job openings falling by nearly 1 million to its lowest level in 14 months. Yet, despite the talk about the Reserve Bank of Australia's smaller cut as some kind of tell for a Fed policy and the drop in JOLTS, the fact of the matter is the market view of the trajectory of Fed policy has not changed. Specifically, the probability of a 75 basis point hike is almost 77% at yesterday's settlement, which is the most since last Monday.
Here's a free Discord channel every Forex trader should join. You get access to daily trade ideas, market scans, and market coverage for what's happening in the Forex world today. See what professional traders are thinking on things like GBP JPY, gold, and Euro USD. And the best part, it's totally free. Click the link on this video and it will take you to a Telegram chat with one of our team members. Send them the word apply and we'll get you in the free Discord shortly after.
Moving on to our second article, we have ADP National Employment Report. Private sector employment increased by 208,000 jobs in September. Annual pay was up 7.8%. So we're going to just scroll through here and look at the jobs report. We see job growing picked up in September. Businesses created 208,000 jobs in September, up from the revised 185,000 in August, as schools reopened and pandemic concerns receded. But while job growth is stable, it remains below the recent 3-month average. We're just going to scroll through these numbers here so that we can take a look at the job changes, both by job and by region. But let's go ahead and take a look at our Edgefinder readings. So here in the Edgefinder, we're taking a look at the smart money tracker, and of course we're concerned with the US dollar today. So I'm just going to click on this and see what the Edgefinder reports for US dollars. So COT data is what we're looking at here in the Smart Money Tracker institutional trader data. And so we are long on the US dollar at the moment at 73.77% long and 26.23% short. Continuing on, we're going to take a look at two US dollar pairs. The first being Euro USD, which has a strong sell bias because we're looking at the euro against the dollar. So we're selling the euro, buying the dollar right now. Again, our COT data listed here, we can see retail sentiment for the pair is actually 50-50, but overall a strong sell bias for the Euro USD pair. If we look at a USD against the JPY pair, here we're buying the US dollar, selling the Japanese yen. We have a sell bias, or a buy bias, excuse me, of +4. The COT data here for the yen, 17.74% long and 82.26% short. And retail traders are 31% long and 69% short on the pair. So that's a quick look into the Edgefinder at our US dollar pairs. Now we're going to go ahead and transition into our head trader, Trader Nick, talking about NFP and the US dollar pairs.
Start with a quick look at NFP this week. We had some interesting numbers come out this morning, which I'm going to dive into for a moment. And then I'm going to talk about the impact NFP has towards the end of this week, Friday at 8:30 a.m. US Eastern. We are expecting to see the jobs numbers here in the United States. And in this video, what I'm going to do, or in this stream, I'm going to try and cover a little bit of some expectations there, as well as some trade ideas for the dollar going into that. So we have a little bit of a day plan. So let's get started. First of all, what we saw here this morning is we got 208,000 jobs come in pretty much as forecasted for the ADP non-farm employment change. Now, this is not the NFP release that we get on Friday, but it's an estimated change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry and the government. It provides an early look at employment growth, usually 2 days ahead of the government-released employment data that it's designed to mimic. So it's just an idea. It's not always exactly the same, but we are seeing jobs coming in pretty much as expected, which if we take a quick look at the dollar here today, we can see the response. We're seeing some strength come into the dollar and holding that 61.8% retracement. The dollar still looks strong. A quick look at the daily chart shows us that overall the dollar is trending higher, right? We've got our moving averages lined up beautifully to the upside and finding strength off of that 61.8, with buyers being a little bit reassured today with those early unemployment numbers coming in as expected, that the dollar could continue to rally here. So if you're watching it today and you are day trading or swing trading, what are some ideas to look out for? Well, the euro has held resistance. And I want to show you this off the daily chart quickly. Here is a daily chart view of the Euro USD, which is coming down real strong after we hit resistance, as well as our downward trend line. So to me, this looks like the euro dollar still has strength to the downside. And my initial forecast for this, or at least my outlook for the euro dollar, is to the downside. We're looking to sell this pair predominantly. So there you go. That's the euro dollar. So for me, looking to possibly get short with continuation ideas and stopping out above market highs, right? So if this thing rallies back above the highs, probably just going to go ahead and take my stop on this one, with the idea being, okay, well, if this thing rallies back to the lows, you get a pretty good 2-to-1 risk reward. And now if we break the lows, that risk reward, if you're trailing stops, like how I usually trade or position my trades, could actually be even better than a 2-to-1. Now, this is a pretty generous stop loss. That's 160 pips. So maybe let's take a quick look at the day trading side of things for the euro, which, as we see this thing break back underneath this level, this looks pretty attractive for possibly some intraday setups. Look at the 30-minute chart. You can see we're breaking underneath support. So possibly something like a retest of that area could look like an extension to the downside that could look pretty attractive for euro dollar bears. So there you go. And if we take a look at the pound dollar, another, of course, big USD currency pair, let's take a look at the pound and see what's going the 4-hour chart first. So the 4-hour chart did finally catch what seems to be a little bit of sell pressure. And we actually can go to the daily chart for this as well. You can see the daily chart finally showing some signs of sellers in this market as well. Despite the strong rally, we're seeing this candle coming in basically closing or looking like it wants to try and close beneath this low. Now, this will be a very important daily chart or daily candle as we watch to see if this green candle can actually be engulfed by this red one that's forming, right? So we'll have to watch to see if that opportunity sets up. But if that does in fact occur, we could see the pound dollar continue to sink lower overall. Now, macro wise, right, economically speaking, the pound looks less attractive than the dollar, right? In my personal opinion, if I had to bet on one or the other, I would bet on the dollar, right? Because the Federal Reserve is looking to hike interest rates. They're looking to reduce their balance sheet. Recession fears could cause the dollar to continue to be that safe haven asset. So when we get a poke to the upside on the euro and the pound, that is to me looking more and more like opportunities to set up for trades. So I like euro dollar and pound dollar short. Those are two things that I'm watching here today.
If you'd like to get the Edgefinder for yourself, you can do so by clicking the link in the description. You can chat with one of our team members about getting the Edgefinder for yourself, or you can look on our website and see our prices and deals there. Use code A1YT at checkout for a discount on the Edgefinder when you buy it.